Good evening, my name is Garrett, and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is from Hard Truth. This is their Farmer's Reserve Sweet Mash blend of straight whiskeys, finished in toasted Amberana barrels, coming in at a 53% ABV. No official age statement on the bottle. So Hard Truth is actually based out of southern Indiana, and they're honestly one of the main reasons I started getting into spirits in general. I fell in love with their gin and opened my doors up to their whiskey and so many other spirits that they do. So what we have in front of us here is a cool little collaboration project between both Hard Truth and the John Mellencamp Whiskey Company. Now, the John Mellencamp portion is really interesting because they are supporting farm aid, where essentially they are trying to help local farmers get connected and help support them through tougher times. And the cool thing with this collaboration is you're getting local farmers to pair up with a booming whiskey company right now. And what better way to show that appreciation and that collaboration between the two than to showcase John Mellencamp's artwork on the front of these bottles. Really cool idea. Now, when it comes to this whiskey itself, they actually give us some good information about what's going on inside the bottle. Starting off, this is a blend of their sweet mash bourbon and their chocolate malt rye. Now, after that blend is made up, they actually rested on toasted Amberana wood. Now, if you're not familiar with Amberana, essentially it's wood from South America, a very dense and hard wood, and it's a limited export and a very oily wood when it comes to finishing. Usually, low amounts of finishing time give huge impact on the bourbons or whiskeys themselves. Tend to bring across a lot of sweet cinnamons, almost like cinnamon sugars, or notes along those kind of lines. But I'm curious on how they're going to do it with that interesting blend of two different whiskeys going on here, plus that finishing time. So let's jump into the bottle itself and see how things go. I will always give them credit on these bottle shapes. These are super unique, stand out on the shelf. I have 12 different bottles of Hard Truth in this shape, and I don't get enough of it. I love it. Anyways, as always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hang around for a bit, become a member if you'd like. If you're interested in some other reviews over Hard Truth's products that I've done, they'll be linked up above and down below. There we go. Love their cork top as well. Got that wood kind of grain look on there. The hardest part usually is the pour on these. Let's see. Not too shabby. And I am an Amberana wood fan. I know a lot of people are very cut dry. Either they love it or they hate it. So I'm curious again on how they're going to pull it across here. Gorgeous dark color. Beautiful on there. Alrighty. Let's go for notes. Alright, yep, that's Amberana finished. You're getting a lot of that sweet cinnamon sugars. That little bit of rice spiciness is going on in there. Corn sweetness too. It does have some ABV bite. It's a little warm on the nose. I'm going to do a little bit of a swirl here to see if we can kind of let it air up a bit. That helped out a little bit, but boy, a lot of brown sugars. Maybe a little bit. There is a definite coconut note going on here for me. Like freshly cut coconut, and you got that bit of husk on there. Yeah, that's interesting. Oily, definitely. It's an oily whiskey here. Corn dusty sweet notes. A little bit of a herbalness from the rye, and you definitely get a little pinch of that chocolate malt going in there. It's got a little bit of an undertone of a chocolate earthiness. There is some vanilla sweetness in there, and it's almost like Madagascar vanilla bean. And that's definitely being impacted from the Amberana. As long as you're not afraid of Amberana, that nose is beautiful. I love that. A little chariness in there. Love the spice layers. It matches so well with Amberana. Man. Alrighty. Let's go for a taste. Good warmth on the palate. A little high. But the cinnamon sugar notes are there. Not quite as potent as the nose led me to believe, but that's not a bad thing. Getting a lot of those sweet grain notes. However, there is a bit of youth bite going on in here. And surprisingly, it doesn't have a super long cling besides the Amberana. So it does have that little bit of youth bite going on in here. However, it's got a lot of corn sweetness, a little spiciness in there from the rye notes. It's got a solid chocolatiness going on. A little bit of that vanilla bean paste going in there as well. Yeah, it's a really solid pour. A little bit of fruit sweetness. I'd go like just a simple red apple. And there's almost like a gooey chocolate cake going on for me. Like a lava cake. But not quite as dark chocolate as lava cakes tend to be. Good solid finish on here. A little bit of that peppery spice, a little herbal, a little floral. Nice char from that cask is still showing up on the palate, mixed in there with a little bit of a caramel drizzle going over the top of things. Fairly complex as well. My biggest criticism, it's got a little bit of a youth bite to it. It's not a bad thing, don't get me wrong there. It's just got a little bit of that going on. But a good example of Amberana finished. Still getting a bit of that toasted coconut note going on here. All right, we're gonna break it down. This is chocolate coconut cream pie. Follow me here. We have a coconut cream pie with toasted coconut on top, and then twirls of dark chocolate kind of put across there. It's sweet, but not overly sweet. It's got a good base to things. The rye spiciness is there. The corn sweetness is there. Definitely, at the end of the day, you better like Amberana. But I have to say, it's probably one of the better examples of that finishing process out there. It's not quite as impactful in your face as something like the New Lose version. I still enjoy the New Lose version. But this has more of a subtle toasted element to it to combat the over cinnamon sugar notes going on. That's a really good pour. Yeah, we might have to put that in some A/B comparisons between some other Amberana finished products, because the more I keep sipping on it, the more I'm digging it more and more. The nose has really tamed down a bit, and I think it's because it needed to open up a minute. But that profile they're able to bring across in that is really darn good. Alrighty, let's talk about grading this one. Well, the hardest thing here is probably the price. They want about $69, nice, for the price point on this one. And as much as I want to say it's worth that, the big kicker here is you gotta like Amberana. And I've said that 5 or 6 times, I know. If it is, I think it's a very solid B+. Because of that little bit of youth bite, it pulls it out of that A range for me. Besides that, it's a beautiful blend using that toasted Amberana finish on things. It's gorgeously sweet, but not sickly sweet. It doesn't have so much cling that it lingers around and kills your palate for anything else from the night. Good proof point on there. 53 is about where they needed to be on that one. I like it. Again, if you're interested in getting into Amberana finished things, this is one you could try out to see if you like ahead of time, because it is a little more subtle comparatively to others. And I think it's a really good pour. If it was just aged up a little bit more, it would have been an easy A in my book. But for now, I'm going to hold it that B+ range. So yeah, there you have it, folks. Hard Truth's Farmer's Reserve Sweet Mash blend of straight whiskeys finished with toasted Amberana wood. If you have any questions about the bottle itself, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirits I should go looking for, also let me know down below. Love doing these reviews and sharing with you the experience at home. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.
You know, I even like it might not.